What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics, especially some college football. Because gentlemen and ladies and sports fans and gentlemen, excuse me, we got to talk about this young star running back Ashton Jeanty. I've been wanting to dedicate a video to this gentleman for quite some time, as he has just been having himself a Heisman Award worthy type season, and this is as a running back. I believe the last time I've been watching, all of the Boise State games, as I just recently moved to Idaho, so I got a bit of a front row seat to the Boise State Broncos games. Had a bit of a front seat to this um, uh, historic season that Ashton Jeanty has been able to string together, and I believe I read an article a couple weeks ago about him possibly breaking some college football running back records held by, I believe, Barry Sanders, if I'm not mistaken, or Earl Campbell, one of the old legends, one of the renowned legends in the running back industry. Ashton Jeanty is threatening that kind of history because I believe it's been 36 years or so, 30 plus years, if I'm not mistaken, since we've seen a running back season like this. So just kudos to this young man. Again, I've been wanting to dedicate a video to his hard work and contribution, as I truly believe that if the Boise State Broncos did not have this young man in their team on their team, um, would they be 15th ranked, in the nation? I'm not sure. I'm not trying to take away from anybody else. As the game versus the San Diego State Aztecs proved that this team has more than just Ashton Jeanty. But I gotta say that this guy is really carrying the Boise State Broncos on his back, and that's just because I'm in Idaho, getting a front row seat to the action. So, uh, nonetheless, let's look over some of these stats, and then I'm gonna read from an article from Bleacher Report that I felt like perfectly described the game and how I saw it. But anyway, Ashton Jeanty had himself an evening. He had 31 carries, excuse me, for 149 yards and two touchdown scores. And just a disclaimer on the evening, he got 112 of his 149 yards in the second half because the San Diego State Aztecs dedicated themselves to stopping the Ashton Jeanty Heisman campaign. And it was to they wanted to win that particular battle over winning the actual football game because what's my guy Maddox Madsen, the quarterback for the Boise State Broncos. He was able to sling the pill all over the field for that reason, because the San Diego State Aztecs had dedicated themselves to stopping Ashton Jeanty, and they were successful in that department in the first half. By the second half, though, the Boise State Broncos committed themselves to running the ball. They were up, I think, at that point by 25, almost 30 points. So they just dedicated themselves to running the ball, and there lied Ashton Jeanty's production. Um, but nonetheless, you need these big number games anyway, when you're in the Heisman race. So it doesn't really matter how you get them as long as you get them. And I just wanted to throw that disclaimer out because I was impressed with San Diego State's game plan in the beginning of the game to nullify Ashton Jeanty. I mean, they had 10, almost all 11 guys in the box, and at that point, Maddox Madsen was able to throw the ball and get himself 4 touchdown passes. I believe he got 3 in the first half. All to this kid Caples, Latrell Caples. So it was a good game, man. It was a good game. And again, I gotta say I was impressed with not just San Diego's dedication to stopping Ashton Jeanty, but actually stopping Ashton Jeanty, as I have not seen a team do that thus far this season. So that was Ashton's stat line for the night. He also caught the ball, I think 2 times for 31 yards to give himself 180 total scrimmage yards on the evening. Maddox Madsen, he threw the ball 24 He threw the ball 32 times and completed 24 passes. He ended the evening with 4 touchdown passes and 307 yards. But real fast, I want to read from this article from Bleacher Report again, as I feel like it perfectly described how I saw the game. And it starts off by saying Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty Heisman campaign continued Friday with 180 total yards and two rushing touchdowns, in a 56-24 home win over San Diego State. Jeanty rushed for 149 yards on 31 carries while adding 31 more yards on 2 catches. He got off to a slow start. In the first half, he had 15 carries for 37 yards, as we mentioned earlier, as San Diego State stacked the box against him. The decision left the Aztecs vulnerable on the back end, and Boise State quarterback Maddox Madsen took full advantage with 307 passing yards and 4 scores, 3 to Latrell Capels. Fans pointed out SDSU's decision, and it goes on to read a couple comments from Twitter. Let me see. It said Ashton Jeanty runs a gentleman, bum chill-ups, Spencer Hall. I don't know who that is, of course, but he said Ashton Jeanty runs into 20 dudes every time he gets the ball. That's a fact. Another commenter said San Diego State opting out of any kind of pass defense today just to tank Ashton Jeanty's Heisman resume is a commitment to rivalry that few teams are capable of. I got to agree with that. And so there are a few other comments. We're going to just brush through those real quick. The article continues. Through 8 games, Jeanty has rushed for 1,525 yards and 20 touchdowns on 190 carries, averaging 8 yards per carry. He's also caught 14 passes for 81 yards and an additional passing touchdown score. And so the Jeanty Heisman hype continues after another fantastic game. I wouldn't call it fantastic, but impressive nonetheless. He did what he had to do to keep his campaign alive. The first half may not have featured gaudy numbers, but it's quite difficult for a running back to run through a brick wall. He still posted an 180-yard 2-touchdown game for the nation's number 15 team, which is squarely in the college football playoff mix. The article continues at the end. At this rate, Jeanty can book a flight to New York in December as a Heisman finalist. This year's race looks great on paper with Colorado two-way superstar Travis Hunter, Miami quarterback Cam Ward, and Oregon signal caller Dillon Gabriel, all in the mix as well. But Jeanty isn't going anywhere. Also got to say I'm impressed with what Dillon Gabriel has been able to do with the Oregon Ducks, who currently, at this moment of the recording of this video, are sitting at number 1 on the AP poll. And Ashton Jeanty and the Broncos went to war with them the first game of the season. I believe it ended 34-37. I remember watching that game and just being I turned to the game, I think in like the second quarter, they were going back and forth, and it was a very entertaining game. But also, fun fact, Ashton Jeanty has scored 126 points this year by himself, outscoring Florida State. Florida State University, they have only scored 119 points this year. That's a crazy stat for you. Let's see if there's any more of this article. No, that was the end of it. Cool. It goes on to read some more comments from Twitter. So if y'all want to check out those comments and check out that article, that's Bleacher Report once more. And again, kudos to this kid, man. He has been having himself some kind of season. And I haven't seen really a running back be this dominant. Man, I'm trying to think back to maybe Mark Ingram, a little bit of the Derrick Henry days in Alabama. I think Mark Ingram was Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. He might have been Alabama as well, but or Arkansas. Was Mark Ingram Arkansas? Because I lived in Arkansas, went to college in Arkansas as well, and I believe Mark Ingram was out there doing his thing. I can't exactly recall, but I haven't really seen a running back dominate the game like this in quite some time. So I'm very impressed. I'm also hoping and voting for Ashton Jeanty to win that Heisman Award. I am impressed with what Travis Hunter has done, but I don't think Travis has the numbers necessarily. He has the snaps, he has the availability, but I don't know if his numbers are exactly Heisman worthy. Same with Cam Ward. I like what Cam Ward is doing out there in Miami, but I'm not truly a believer of Cam Ward, honestly. I think if we'll see what they're made of in the playoffs. I don't know if the Heisman Trophy will be decided upon by that time, but I just don't really. We'll get back to Cam Ward, but I am impressed with what Dylan Gabriel has been able to do. But above all of these gentlemen, Ashton Jeanty of the Boise State Broncos out there on the Smurf turf, doing his thing, man. 20 touchdowns on the season, and we still got some games to go. So we will see if the Boise State Broncos can continue this hot streak that they've been on. Again, currently the number 15 team ranked on the AP poll after this dominance performance. I'm 100% positive they will be elevated, maybe probably to number 10, if not top 10, somewhere in that mix. So we'll see. We will see how far Ashton Jeanty and these Broncos can go. Excuse me, but that's all I got for y'all on this video. Please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. Well, you get some coffee. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to hear what y'all have to say about these topics, especially some college football. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.